The JoLynn Braley Show, episode 41, the number one mistake that kept me overweight. Hello and welcome. This is JoLynn Braley, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet, and this is the JoLynn Braley Show. What is the Inner Self Diet? The Inner Self Diet is my proprietary, proven, step-by-step coaching and mentoring system to permanent weight loss without struggle, deprivation, or force. I help exceptional women and a few cool men achieve permanent weight loss by doing the proven steps of the Inner Self Diet. I am a certified master NLP practitioner, a certified professional master coach, and I have taken all of my skills along with my intuitive skills and my certifications in law of attraction and all of the knowledge that I have gained in metaphysics and law of attraction throughout my lifetime. And I have created the Inner Self Diet, which works time and time again. And you can read the success stories of the awesome people that I've worked with. You can find those at fearlessfatloss.com. Just go to the testimonials page. Also, while you're there, you can grab my free 5-day e-course and you can learn more about what has been stopping you from losing weight for good and what you can do about it. So here on today's show, join me on the JoLynn Braley Show as I go beyond the food to the real issue. What is the real issue? The real issue is your mindset. Yes, you have thought that the real issue was your fat and your overeating, but no, those are only symptoms of your FAT mindset. What is an FAT mindset? An FAT mindset is a mindset grounded in fear-attracting thoughts. When you are FAT or fat on the inside, then you must be fat on the outside. One of the universal laws that we all live under is the inner and the outer always match. The beauty of this universal law is that once you become fit, slender, healthy, feeling fantastic on the inside, then the magic that occurs is that it is extremely easy for you to lose weight and keep it off. Your mindset, your inner self, is 90% of the solution if you crave permanent success with your weight. If you do the proven steps of the Inner Self Diet, then you will leave all of your unhealthy, bad feeling, unproductive behaviors behind you. That means the end of your emotional eating, binge eating, stuffing yourself, food obsessions, beating yourself up mentally and emotionally, perfectionism, yo-yo dieting, black and white thinking, self-sabotage, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, anything and everything that is a part of your food and weight struggles. Once you get a core solid weight loss mindset, which is what I do with my clients, my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet, then it'll be so easy for you to lose weight. You're going to wonder, why in the world did I not do this 10 years ago? But now you do have the option, you have the choice, you can make the decision to do the Inner Self Diet, and it just always works. Why does it always work? Well, there's a couple reasons why. One is the fact that you were not born obsessed with food. You were not born a yo-yo dieter. You were not born a compulsive overeater. You were not born a food addict. You knew when you were hungry. You knew when you were full. If anyone tried to put food in your mouth when you were already full, then you would either turn your head or you would spit the food out. If a well-meaning adult thought they knew better than you, even though you knew better when you were a baby, and they continued to force food into your mouth, you may have eventually relented and taken extra food in. And all of these struggles with food and weight for all of my clients, for myself, I would say for 95% of people who struggle with food and weight, especially emotional eaters. This all began when you were a kid, and this is why you haven't been able to solve it on your own. It's just too big of a problem. It's too old. It's been going on too long, and it's a part of you now. You actually you need a whole new identity. You need to be reprogrammed on the inside. Your whole inner self needs to transform so that you can become that healthy, fit, awesome person on the inside that you want to see on the outside. And that doesn't mean that you're not awesome right now or that you don't have any success in your life right now. I'm sure that you are very smart and you're very successful in your career or in your business life. And you know how much further you could be if you felt absolutely fantastic in your own skin, if you were at your ideal weight, if you were feeling just wonderful and living your ideal life in your ideal body. You know where you would be right now if you were living in the body of your dreams. So the good news is that no one out there needs to change. Nothing out there needs to change. The fast food industries can stay where they are. Everything can stay the same. What needs to change is the core of you, and that, again, is what I do with my clients in the Inner Self Diet as I mentor them through the proven steps. And if you're serious about leaving all of your food and weight struggles behind you, I can tell you right now how you can take your first step, and that is over on the page discovery-session.com. That's where you fill out an application for a complimentary weight loss discovery session with me. That's your first step towards struggle-free permanent success with your weight. That's only for you if you really are serious about putting an end to the drama, putting an end to the struggle, putting an end to the stress, putting an end to the worries. Believe it or not, your weight problems are not even what you think they are. You have a life problem, you have a mindset problem, and that's what 90% of it is. Your overeating and your overweight, those are only symptoms of what you've got going on the inside. Now, let's take a look at today's topic. Today's topic is the number one mistake that kept me overweight. Yes, I have been where you are right now. I struggled since I was just a child, since I was 7 years old. That's when I first began struggling with food and weight. And I was a skinny kid, but I thought I was fat. I remember I was sitting on the front seat of my parents' car in the summertime wearing little red shorts, and every person, every human being, no matter what size you are, when you sit down, your thighs will spread out a little bit. And I looked down at my thighs and I thought, I'm fat. I wasn't, but I had picked up some beliefs and some struggles of some well-meaning adults who were in my life, and I took that on like a little sponge, and I took on their limiting beliefs and their limiting thoughts. And I began thinking that I was fat, even though I wasn't. But I continued thinking those thoughts, and eventually I did gain weight. And I struggled with the whole food and weight topic for years and years and years and years. And I did all the things that I imagine that you have done. Diet pills, diet shakes, all these different kinds of diets, exercise, extreme exercise, all kinds of different things. But because I had not gotten the inner self, I had not healed the root of why I gained weight in the first place, of why I started compulsive overeating and binge eating and stuffing myself back in college, because I was trying to solve my problem with a diet just like what you've been doing. None of those diets worked, and the diets are not supposed to fix why you became overweight in the first place. That's why 95% of dieters fail, because the diet, the food plan, all that's for is to to give you a way to eat so that you can release fat from your body. But why is it that you still have the food obsessions? Why do you still binge? Why do you still compulsively overeat? Why do you still emotionally eat? Why do you overeat at all? Why do you put any food in your mouth when you're not physically hungry? Those issues, those problems, those challenges do not go away by doing a food diet. And you know this yourself, and in fact, the food diets only intensify those problems. And it feels even worse to lose weight and then regain even more. Lose 10 pounds, gain 15, lose another 20 pounds, gain 30, gain 40, and go back and forth, do the yo-yo dieting. What would it be like if all of that could be ended, if you could just be normal, if you could eat what you want when you want and be like those people that you see and you wonder, how do they do that? And how do they fit exercise in every day or 5 days a week? And why is it I can't even get off the couch, but I'm so smart and I have all these books about nutrition and I have all of these exercise DVDs and I have all of the exercise equipment and I'm doing so great over here in my career life and my business life, but I can't stop eating. Why is that? Well, clearly that shows you that it's not a problem of intelligence. It's the same thing that I went through. And then I did come to understand and comprehend intellectually something that you might want to write down on a piece of paper right now with a pen. Words do not teach, only life experience teaches. So just like you have a great deal of intellectual knowledge, but you're not applying it, you're not doing anything with it, which is the number one sign that you have a mindset problem. When you know what to do to lose weight, but you're not doing it, it's because you don't have a weight loss mindset. So I knew that my problems with eating and overweight were an inside problem. And I knew that that needed to be fixed, it needed to be healed, and there was no way around that. However, just like you, here's what I told myself. I told myself, oh, well, that's fine, that's great. I know that I need to heal the root of why I became overweight in the first place and why I started overeating. I know that I need to do all of that. But you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do another diet. Yeah, let's do another diet and I'll lose weight and then I'll get the fat off, and then after I lose weight, then I'll address the inner self part. Yeah. Well, guess how many years that went on? Tack another 5-10 years onto an already extremely old problem. And what happens when you do that, by the way, that's the number one mistake that I made that kept me overweight, was telling myself that I would address the root of the problem and heal that after I lost weight. Well, I never lost weight. I might have lost a couple pounds here and there, but I couldn't keep it off because I had not addressed the inner problem. And it really sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? It sounds insane. But why do you do that to yourself? Why do you tell yourself that all you need to do is lose weight? You fully understand that you've got a mindset problem. You know that you need to change significantly on the inside before you can lose weight and keep it off. You know that you need to live a healthy lifestyle in order to have the body that you want and be able to maintain it. You know all of these things, but you tell yourself, well, that's okay. I'll just go do this other diet, or I'll join this boot camp, or I'm going to do this gym membership, or I'm going to hire a personal trainer, and I'll do the 10% and I'll address the 90% later. What you want to look at there, what I invite you to look at, is what are the results that you are getting from doing that to yourself. part of this is a problem of arrogance. And that's what, that was another mistake that I made. I thought that I could solve it all on my own. I thought I could fix it on my own, and that never worked. Back in 2010, I invested in myself to get coaching to help me heal the root of this problem. And then I went from a 12 to an 8 in just 2 months. Did I do some kind of a new diet or a new exercise program during those 2 months? No. It wasn't about what I was eating. It wasn't about exercise. The fat just dropped off. I ate like a normal person, and I didn't do any specific kind of a diet. I didn't even really exercise very much, and I went from a 12 to an 8. What happened there is very significant limiting beliefs that I had had. Those were shifted, and that was really the biggest part of why I went from a 12 to an 8. And then there were other things involved also, all part of the inner self work, which we don't have time to even go into all of that in this short little podcast. But suffice it to say that it was all an inside job, completely an inside job. And then after the inside work was done, then I magically, it seemed as if magic, I went from a 12 to an 8 in 2 months, and that was all the way back in 2010. No, I'm not a 00. No, I'm not a 0 or a 2. I don't attract clients who want to be a 00 either, or a size 2. If that is what a person wants, then what I would invite them to ask themselves is it realistic? Is it something that they can honestly maintain? And why do they want that? And those are questions you can ask yourself if you are looking to be a 00 or a 0 or a 2. If that's healthy for you, if you have the body frame for that, awesome. But so far, I haven't worked with anyone who was going for that, because the exceptional women and a few cool men that I've worked with, Dave is one of those men. He dropped 90 pounds without any struggle. And he said that nobody would know he was dieting because he wasn't dieting. It wasn't about that. He shifted his mindset. And then he was just living a healthy lifestyle, and the weight came off over time. These people that I work with, they want to heal their relationship with food. They want to have a healthy relationship with food. They want to lose the weight and keep it off. They want the big, bold transformation that the inner self diet provides, which really is a life transformation. Because the reason that you're overweight isn't about food and your weight. It's not about food and exercise. It's really a life issue. Obviously, it's 90% mindset. And that mindset, is there any possible way that you can take off your mindset and then go to work? How can you do that? How can you take the mindset that you've got and just leave it at home in the closet while you go out on a date, or go to work, or go on vacation, or go to the grocery store? That mindset that you have goes with you everywhere. This is why my clients, they come to me because they want to lose weight and they want to have it be very easy to do. And that is the result they get. But at the same time, all areas of their life transform, because you can't stop that transformation, since your mind goes with you everywhere, just like your body does. So the number one mistake that I made that kept me overweight was I told myself that I would address the inner problem after I lost weight, which never happened. And then another mistake I made is I told myself I could do it all on my own. That's a sign of arrogance, thinking that you know it all. Those are the two biggest mistakes that I made. And really, that's all it comes down to. Let's look at your questions for today, and you can grab your pen and paper. On every episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, I give you questions that you can ask yourself, and I highly suggest that you write these down, pen on paper, so that you get the most out of this podcast. There is a connection that occurs between your head, your hand, and your heart, and you only get that connection when you write pen on paper. You don't get it writing on a keyboard, and you certainly don't get it in any way, shape, or form by just listening. Your first question that you can ask yourself, so write the question down and then write down your answer. Exactly how many years have I been trying to lose weight and keep it off and doing it all on my own? Exactly how many years have I been trying to lose weight and keep it off and doing it all on my own? And then write that number down. And then the next question, what are my specific results I have gotten from what I have done and what I'm doing? What are the specific results that I have gotten from what I have done and what I'm doing? So write down how many times you've lost weight and then regained it, how many years you have been struggling, what is your weight today, what are your specific struggles? Are you an emotional eater? Do you compulsively overeat? Do you obsess about food? Are you unable to turn down ice cream or pizza? Are you unable to have just one? Do you beat yourself up mentally? Are you a Last Supper eater? Do you stuff yourself every Sunday night because Monday is always a new diet? How many times do you tell yourself in a year that you're going to start again on Monday? There's 52 weeks in a year. Do you do that every week? Do you start a new diet on Monday and then you might get to Wednesday if you make it that far, and then you tell yourself, oh, well, the weekend's right around the corner, so, let's just relax and then I'll start again on Monday. How often do you sabotage your weight loss efforts? So write all your results down. I'm sure that you'll need to pause the podcast before you go on to the next question. And your next question to write down, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy am I with the results I'm living in my body and in my life? On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy am I with the results that I'm living in my body and my life? 1 is, I can't stand these results. 10 is, I am absolutely over the top thrilled. I love my body. I love my weight. Food is my friend. Everything is working in my life. Things are going fantastic. And sure, I have some challenges here and there, but they never get me down, and I know how to always work through them, and I look at a challenge as an opportunity. I have the tools to maintain my mindset no matter what. I am the one who is 100% in charge of my thoughts and my emotions, and I am just living full out. That's a number 10. Which, by the way, that's what my clients get from the Inner Self Diet. And then your fourth question to ask yourself, if in the previous questions you found that the results that you're living are just subpar, they're very frustrating, you're very unhappy with your results, and on a scale of 1 to 10, you're below a 5, you might even be down at a 1 or 2, or no matter where you are on that scale, you're not happy with it. That's really what it comes down to. It's about how you feel about it. Then your fourth question to ask yourself, how much longer am I willing to continue living with the struggle? Exactly how much longer am I willing to continue living with the struggle with food and my weight? Exactly how much longer am I willing to continue living with the struggle with food and my weight? And write down your answer. 1 day, 10 days, 2 months, 5 years, how long? And be honest with yourself. If you're telling yourself that you can figure it out on your own, realize that while you're figuring it out on your own, you will still be struggling. Until you get to that place where you're free of the struggle, you will still be struggling. That makes sense, doesn't it? And then finally, you do need to specify what your specific action plan is for healing the root of your ongoing food and weight struggles. Because if you never heal why you became overweight in the first place, then how do you ever expect to achieve permanent success with your weight? So that's something else that you really need to write down. And write that down right now. What is my specific action plan for healing the root of my ongoing food and weight struggles? Make sure that you have an action plan that is proven. Make sure that it includes accountability so that you're going to follow through with it. Make sure that you have support, that you have a professional coach and mentor that is going to guide you through, because you are an individual, and I'm sure that you'll have questions and you will need guidance, because you don't know right now what you don't know. You have no idea what it is that you don't know. And I hear that all the time from my clients in the Inner Self Diet. They're always saying, wow, I never even heard of this before, or this is so different. And I've had clients say, I don't know how you explain this to people, to new people, because it's so different. It's not a food diet in any way. And the good thing is, though, it works. Because your problems are not about the food and the weight. There is a reason that you started stuffing yourself in the first place. So do write down all of your answers to those questions. And it's time for a commercial break. Today's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is discovery-session.com. When you go to www.discovery-session.com, that is where you will find the application that you can complete for a complimentary one-on-one weight loss discovery session with me, JoLynn Braley. And the purpose of that is to find out if or how I can help you and find out more about your struggles and what you really want in your body and with your weight and with food, and also with what the specific results are that you expect you would get in your life if you could just heal this one problem that you have never ever solved completely. Okay, shout outs. How do you get a shout out from me on the JoLynn Braley Show? Here's how. Go to thejolynnbraleyshow.com and click like on our Facebook page. It's that simple. I will give you a shout out on an upcoming episode. And once again, you can do that at thejolynnbraleyshow.com. Just click like and you will get a shout out on an upcoming episode with your first name. It's a lot of fun, and it's a way to say hi and say thanks for listening. So let's recap here and look at what you learned today. What you learned today is that mindset is 90% of your struggle with food and your weight, and it's also where 90% of the solution is if you want permanent success with your weight. You learned that there's a reason 95% of dieters fail, and that is because they're only addressing 10% of the problem. You learned that my biggest number one mistake that I made that kept me overweight was I told myself that I would heal the root of my ongoing food and weight struggles after I lost weight. Well, do you think I ever lost weight? No. I mean, I lost weight here and there, but I never got to the bottom of the problem. And it wasn't until I healed the root of it that I was able to go from a 12 to an 8 in just 2 months back in 2010. It's that simple. Your mindset is 90% of the game. You must be fit, slender, and healthy on the inside if that's what you want to be on the outside. If you're fat on the inside, you have to be fat on the outside. It's not a good or bad or right or wrong thing. It's just how it is. The inner and the outer always match. You also learned today that you can apply for a complimentary weight loss discovery session at discovery-session.com, and that is your first step towards permanent weight loss in the Inner Self Diet. You learned that the good news is that nobody and no thing on the outside has to change in order for you to get permanent success with your weight. Only You need to change. When you want to get a different result and you don't know how to do it and you've never succeeded on your own, the quickest and easiest way to do that is to just hire a professional that already has the step-by-step plan to get you to where you want to go. It's the same thing with anything in life. There is a woman that I met at a business coaching event, and she said it better than anyone can say it. The way she said it was, I don't know everything. And I know that I don't know everything, but I know what I want in my business, and I know the results I want to get. So all I do is when I don't know how to do something, I just hire a coach to help me. And then I learn, and then I do what they give me to do that has already worked for them and for other people, and then I do it, and then I get my success. And then if there's something else I don't know how to do, then I hire somebody else to help me. That's what anyone does who wants to get from where they are to where they want to be in a very short amount of time. The way to take the long route is to try to do it on your own. And that's a very limiting belief to live under when you tell yourself that you have to do it all on your own, and you tell yourself that you should be able to do it all on your own. Who says? Who says? Who told you that? And who says that they're right? If you want a result, ABC, and you have never gotten ABC result, and you know that you don't know how to get ABC result, then why would you keep doing XYZ to get ABC result when XYZ has never worked? Why would you do that to yourself? Alright, so be sure and head on over to the JoLynnBraleyShow.com. Click like to like our Facebook page, and you will get a shout out from me on an upcoming episode. If you're subscribed in iTunes, go ahead and give the show a 5-star rating, and go ahead and give us a 5-star review along with the 5-star rating. Write in your review, share your biggest aha that you've gotten from the JoLynn Braley Show. Tell us how your awareness has shifted away from the diet mentality, thinking that a tiny little food diet, which is only 10% of the solution, thinking that that would solve all of your food and weight struggles, that would actually end your emotional eating, it would end your binge eating. Tell us how the JoLynn Braley Show has helped you to understand that, yes, mindset is 90% of the game. And we would love to read about that. Next week's episode, New Diet Every Monday Syndrome. And this will be Get Real episode number 10 of the year. This is JoLynn Braley, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet, and you have been listening to the JoLynn Braley Show. Head on over to fearlessfatloss.com if you would just like to learn more, and over there at fearlessfatloss.com you can grab your free 5-day e-course that will help you learn more about your mindset and help you learn more about what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good and what you can do about it. Here's to your best life in your ideal body.